On the left-hand side, we have the brand new Razer Orochi V2. And on the right, we have the Razer Atheris. Now, this isn't actually technically titled V2, but it is an updated version that Razer released, I believe it was at the beginning of 2020. Now, the reason I'm comparing these two mice together is they're actually quite similar, despite what you might be seeing here is a definite difference in terms of size and the way that it's shaped. The Atheris, while still available by Razer, is their original, I would say, portable gaming mouse, right? It's the kind of mouse that you would use if you need something small and compact to take with you on the road, or maybe you just prefer a smaller mouse for gaming. And the Orochi V2 it's positioned very similarly, but they look and feel quite different. Again, in this sort of really niche area, right? A regular Razer mouse or regular gaming mouse is going to be quite a bit bigger than the Orochi, but these two again have similarity in size. So you might be wondering, right, if you already have an Atheris, especially the newer one, should you upgrade to something like the Orochi V2? Or if you're just trying to make a decision between the two, which one should you get? And I don't think it's a super easy choice. Now, I've had the luxury of owning this Atheris for at least a year and a half now, and the Orochi I just got today from Razer for this review. So I don't have firm impressions on this one quite yet, but I just wanted to go over the basics just so that we can all sort of level set on that. So they do share quite a bit in common, okay? So on the one hand, you get your DPI switch in the middle on both of these. Let me put them side by side here. So they both feature scroll wheels, okay? DPI sensors here. And then on the side, they each have 2 additional clicks, right? Now that's it as far as input goes. Now, something else you'll notice, they both support 2.4 gigahertz through a USB dongle, and they also support Bluetooth. Now here's something pretty interesting, I think. On the Orochi V2, you actually get up to 950 hours of battery life when connected through Bluetooth. That's a lot, so just a heads up. Now that's the rating. I don't know for sure if that's what you're going to experience, but that's pretty darn good, and that's with the included AA battery. Something that's pretty neat about the Orochi, so I'm going to open this up from the bottom, is that you can plug in either the included AA battery or you can use a AAA battery. Now you might want to use AAA because that's what you tend to have with you. I'm not sure, about your situation, or because you want something a little bit lighter to connect. So in either case, it's pretty cool that you have the option. I've never seen that in a mouse before. And then this is where, just since we're here, here's where the dongle is locked in there. Okay. Now the Atheris opens identically, right? Just right from the bottom, you open it up. Now it takes 2 AA batteries on the Atheris, and I'm actually going to look up the battery life on this real quick just to make sure I have it right. So 300 hours when connected over Bluetooth with the Atheris. So I don't know, it must just be efficiency that, Razer's just worked on efficiency, but that's pretty wild. The Atheris V2, oh, and by the way, here's the USB dongle. That's actually really slick how this one is embedded in here. I like that a lot. Okay, so some more specifications. So the Atheris has a 7200 DPI sensor. The sensor that you're going to find in the Ornata, or not the Ornata, that's a different Razer device. The Orochi V2 is 18,000. So you get a more sensitive sensor, so higher DPI, if you choose, right? Because you can change the scaling. So more DPI capability, way better, about triple the battery life, and only 1 battery requirement. Now, I don't know what happens if you plug in both batteries. Probably nothing would be my guess. Like, it probably won't make a difference, but maybe you can have some redundancy in there. I'll have to test that out, or maybe it'll just freak the mouse out. I don't know. Okay, so I mentioned they're both capable of doing 2.4 gigahertz wireless. With the Orochi V2, there is a rating if you decide to use the dongle instead of Bluetooth, and it's 425 hours. So about, less than half the battery life if you use the 2.4 gigahertz instead of the Bluetooth. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Oh, that's a little bit weird. Okay, so I think the other thing to touch on is going to be just the overall size of this thing. So the measurements on the Ornata are a length of 108 millimeters, a width of 60, and a height of 38. And I think you can see there's quite a size difference between these two. and the shape is different as well. Something else I want to call out is there's this rubberized grip here on the Atheris that I love. I absolutely love this. On the Razer Death Adder V2 Mini, they actually included stickers that you can put on the side of the Mini, and it was a very similar feel to this. I wish they'd done that here with the Orochi, since it didn't come with it already. Okay, and also it is 60 grams. That's the Orochi V2. So on the Atheris, you get a size of 99.7 millimeters by 62.8 by 34 millimeters. And it weighs 66 grams with the 2 batteries installed. Okay, so that's just a quick look at these 2 mice. If you're wondering which one to get, they're both available, right? And I can tell you I really like the Atheris, but just from first glance, I just got this Orochi. I think the shape of it is going to be a little bit more comfortable for most users, right? So I wish I could do this side by side, but I can't. So here's my hand holding the Orochi. You can see there's a nice hump here to help you with your grip. And then on the Atheris, it's so much smaller that my wrist angle is less comfortable. But I have tendonitis in my wrists, so I have challenges with this to begin with. So just keep that in mind. Now, the last thing I'll mention, I should mention this, is that with the additional size of the Orochi, you get some other things. You get more pronounced buttons. So these buttons on the side are larger and they stick out a little bit more. The wheel is also, it's in a little bit more, but seems to be a little bit larger. And the DPI sensor is also bigger, and I think less likely that you're going to run into it. So it looks like they've done some aesthetics and some quality of life improvements with the Orochi. They're both going to have very similar chroma with the back, the 3-headed snake lighting up, and that's about it. It's a slightly different logo. There's probably no way I'm going to get this on the video. Yeah, so it's a slightly different logo. A little thinner on the Orochi. All right, that's it. I'll do a full review on the Orochi soon. Hope you found this helpful. Looking forward to the chat. Cheers.